Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Thomas Spark. Welcome back to the video. Today I wanted to make this video because I get a lot of comments like this one from people who like Mullvad, who think they should come on to other videos and tell people why it's so amazing. Most of the comments are some variation of, "You're wrong. Mullvad is way better for privacy. There's no argument at all. Mullvad is simply way more anonymous. Every other VPN is sharing your data, selling your data. It's a honeypot, etc." This is called gatekeeping. If you're using a VPN, you're likely doing better than 99% of people out there when it comes to your internet privacy. You're likely taking precautions like using a better browser when it comes to privacy, whether that be something like edited Mozilla Firefox to remove some of the privacy invasive things, or Brave, or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I wanted to make this video specifically to kind of highlight why some of these people who shill Mullvad so hard are actually wrong, fundamentally and practically as well. Just a disclaimer here, guys, I am not an affiliate for Mullvad, but I am an affiliate for NordVPN. Not trying to trick you in this video to buy one or the other. This is just a video based on my opinions and facts of observing these services. I've gotten a lot of comments from Mullvad people saying, hey Tom, you don't know what you're talking about. So I wanted to set a video making this straight. But if you do want to help support the channel, use my Nord affiliate link in the description down below. I don't really make any money from YouTube ads. I don't really have any sponsors here on the channel. So making videos on VPNs and using affiliate links is really the only way this channel makes money. So if you want to help support the channel, by all means, use my link and discount in the comment down below. Mullvad could also make their affiliate program if they wanted to, and I'd be using their link too, but they chose to not kind of partner with creators. They just would rather use billboards, I guess, if they think that's more effective. But at the end of the day, let's get back to the video. So guys, one of Mullvad's kind of secret techniques, I think, when it comes to having people like this kind of be their own shills. Mullvad doesn't really have an affiliate program. That is okay in a lot of ways. But there are so many people out there that shill for it, they might as well be affiliates. And I think that's because Mullvad specifically has this kind of branding. They really make it seem like it's like the best, most private VPN. It's like the only way to use a VPN ethically. They don't necessarily say that, but that's kind of what the community seems to kind of get. Basically, Mullvad's entire kind of brand is that. And the reason it is because they don't really collect too much information on the website. Mullvad's kind of main thing is that you can just create an account very quickly, generate an account number like this, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to send them an email, and that really is the advantage. Other services like NordVPN, some other ones out there, Surfshark, etc., usually will kind of make an email address, have an email address, and give them your email address, and then they'll send your account credentials, and that's kind of how you make your account, how you log in, and so forth. NordVPN even makes it easy to log in on some other devices like Apple TV or Android TV. You kind of just scan a QR code, it connects with your phone, you log in there, and then you log on that device, and you don't have to copy codes like this or anything like that. Very easy, but it's just a different way of doing it. Mullvad doesn't really seem to want your email, and that's admirable to some extent. However, you can make privacy-friendly emails specifically for signing up for services with stuff like Tutanota. Tutanota is not collecting any of your data or anything like that. You can also use something like StartMail if you do want to do that. This is an anonymous email, privacy-friendly email, and if you give it to VPN providers, they're not really going to be able to ascertain anything about you from that email. So this one benefit here with Mullvad is kind of arbitrary in a lot of ways. Like I said, some other people with Mullvad say, it's the best VPN. It's not tracking or anything like that on the website. And that's true. Mullvad doesn't use common analytic tools like Google Analytics and stuff like that. They're not tracking and observing as much information while people use these applications, which again is good. But at the end of the day, VPNs that do this aren't really selling this information. They're just kind of using it for bug testing and stuff like that. Mullvad at the end of the day is a smaller VPN provider, and they do have less updates and less development features than some other VPNs out there that are bigger and more robust and more active as VPNs. To illustrate that point, let's go ahead and look at how many updates Mullvad has done on its iOS application compared to something like NordVPN. So guys, like I was saying, more updates generally is better for your VPN. VPNs that are collecting a little bit more analytic use cases from users. Like say they notice there's like some bug in the application from kind of collecting some of this information, they can implement a fix to actually fix that issue. That's one of the advantages of VPNs collecting some of this information, not selling it, of course, they wouldn't do that. But that is an advantage here. If you look at NordVPN, you could see something very good. If you count the number of updates in 2024 for the iOS application, you'll find that there's been 19 updates, which is very, very solid for a VPN provider. However, if you look at something like Mullvad, you'll only count 11 updates. As you can see, there's just a clear difference in the scrolling to illustrate that point. So Mullvad, while it doesn't collect some of the stuff, it's not updated quite as often. So is it necessarily more secure than NordVPN? Well, not necessarily. I would actually say that NordVPN is updated more often, and that probably would mean it's more secure since it's just has more development. So kind of going off that point, we could kind of discuss security in more general terms. People say that Mullvad is more secure. Well, not necessarily again. Nord has more updates. Also, I do like how NordVPN is transparent and very secure about some of these things like the bug bounty program. They're using HackerOne, which means it's very open to show various payouts for bugs, how many bugs are being kind of reported by hackers, and it's a very robust program with some of the most active programs I've ever seen, showing full transparency of how many reports have been resolved. If you go to Mullvad's page, this is pretty much it. There's no really reports of how much people are getting paid, not any reports of how many reports are being made for security issues. It's just not as transparent and kind of easy to see what's going on with Mullvad's bug bounty program, which is one of the most important things for security because these hackers are pretty much testing these VPNs and reporting issues they've found with them, and then the VPN actually fixes it. Another reason why I prefer NordVPN over Mullvad is because, like I said, the faster development time or development overall. As you can see here, NordVPN has had Apple TV since around 2023, December 2023, I do believe. So it's very solid in terms of that. However, you could look here at the AI overview. You cannot use Mullvad with an official app through the Apple TV. So that's definitely a little bit of a bummer there. Now, a lot of people get hung up on transparency. They think that Mullvad is the most transparent VPN. And part of that is because it does value open source. I don't really knock them for that. That's very reputable. And you can see that they have a little page here about valuing open source and how all of the products are available on open source. However, that said, if you really do value open source, if you're one of those power users, you're probably someone who's using Linux. And if you're using Linux, NordVPN also has an open source application. As you can see here, the entire NordVPN application on Linux is open source, and various other kind of things they've built with NordVPN are also open source, including a networking library used across all NordVPN apps on all operating systems, and the library used to kind of share files back and forth with their MeshNet feature. So yeah, is Mullvad more transparent overall with all of its apps? Maybe. But again, if you're someone who really wants to be open source, Linux-based NordVPN is just as comparable in terms of transparency. I also think that their main application on PC is so robust and feature-rich that I don't know if they really can open source it. Mullvad's application is very bare bones, doesn't really do much besides just collect to a basic WireGuard tunnel. Its interface has been the same for years, so there's not as much proprietary kind of value in its application compared to something like NordVPN, which is probably why they haven't open sourced the PC version and they have the Linux version, because the Linux version is just kind of connecting to servers and so on, kind of like Mullvad's actually PC app is as well. Other people say when it comes to VPN, what's important is transparency of audits. Does your VPN collect logs or not? Well, NordVPN and Mullvad are equal on this account. Both VPNs have performed 4 no-log audits, so both of them are pretty comparable, at least there. Both of them use RAM servers, which means they don't really have the capacity to store your user information anyway. So now we kind of talk about some of those things. NordVPN and Mullvad are kind of equal. You know, they both have RAM servers. They prefer no-log audits. They both have Linux open source clients and stuff like that. They both have bug bounty programs, but I do think NordVPN is a little bit better. But, you know, if they're equal on some of these things, you know, that's disproving what people say. Mullvad is clearly better than NordVPN or some of these other options out there. Well, I've already proved that's not the case. NordVPN is at least equal in these transparency measures and security measures. I think they're actually better since they have more updates, and the HackerOne seems to be more robust in terms of a better bug bounty program. But what are some of the things that NordVPN can do that Mullvad cannot? Well, if we kind of look outside of the privacy and security and kind of transparency, NordVPN is just a better VPN overall in pretty much every other respect. Well, number one, long term, it's cheaper. It's around $81 for 28 months. If you use my link in the description down below, you'll get an extra month and this discount. I don't have an affiliate link for Mullvad because they don't have affiliate links. But again, this is just simple math. $81 for 28 months. If you look at Mullvad's pricing model, it's around $5 a month in perpetuity. So if you subscribe for 28 months, the cost would end up being, well, it's actually euros. So it's 519 times 28 would actually be $145. So simple math is you're going to pay $145 for Mullvad for 2 years, whereas with NordVPN, you're paying $81. So you're saving $60. Additionally, NordVPN bundles in streaming compatibility, which means you can unlock various different regions for streaming applications. Mullvad simply does not work with that feature. Additionally, NordVPN also includes MeshNet built in for free, which means you can set up a remote network for getting back into your NordVPN network. I've made several videos on that if you don't really understand what that means. Basically, you could share access to your network to other friends to kind of play LAN or just access your media remotely. So that's a very cool feature. Mullvad does provide kind of like a tail scale partnership. It's certainly not built in for the same capacity that NordVPN has their own proprietary kind of MeshNet thing. A couple other little minor things that NordVPN is better in my opinion. Well, they have a longer refund policy. And Mullvad just restricted their refund policy to only 14 days. They claim it's for privacy benefits, but I don't really see how that makes sense. A longer refund policy is always better for consumer privacy. And, you know, they might make the argument like, oh, it's storing your data for less time for repayment or whatever, or something like that. But I think people overall would prefer a longer refund policy. You know, people buying these services might not consider, you know, the standard refund policy is usually something like 30 days. So they might actually kind of get tricked or kind of confused when it's only 14 days. One of the last reasons you might be interested in Nord over Mullvad, well, they just simply have more bundled offerings. If you're someone who likes being invested in the ecosystems, you need a password manager, cloud storage, or maybe even identity protection. NordVPN does allow you to purchase other products peripherally to get a better value, which is a cool thing. Even their threat and adware blocking is a form of kind of like antivirus light, letting you kind of block various things before going to different websites. So that's also a pretty cool value proposition. Anyways, guys, in this video, I laid out clear reasons why Mullvad and NordVPN are pretty much equal on various things, like having open source Linux clients, both having no-log audits and various things like that, both having bug bounty programs, but I do believe NordVPN seems to be more robust and active. NordVPN is a clear winner when it comes to features like development for various applications on various platforms, streaming compatibility. Their application is updated more as well, which I do think makes it overall a better metric for security. And those are my reasons why I use NordVPN instead of Mullvad. You might agree as well. Let me know down in the comments down below if I got anything wrong. I don't think I did, since most of this is just math and objective facts. But I'll see you again in another video very soon.